Well, a $2 million project aimed at identifying and mapping urban heat islands across the state, which is just one part of a multifaceted approach the state is taking to identify and mitigate the impacts of heat in the face of a changing climate. Liam Healy is here to tell us more. Liam.
Yeah, Adam, heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States, and with many of the top 10 hottest years on record both locally and globally occurring within the last 20 to 30 years, it's a growing problem that can disproportionately target some communities. In response, the state started to develop the Extreme Heat Action Plan in 2022 and also directed the DEC to further study the impacts of urban heat islands and ways to adapt and mitigate communities to lessen its impact. All that according to Leo Bochinger, a program manager in the Climate Change Office at the DEC.
It is the product of concentrations of materials that absorb heat during the day, such as asphalt, but also certain other building materials that we widely use. And then they give that heat back up overnight. So those concentrations that are often in urban areas, but also suburban areas and where in some other areas where there's a lot of concrete.
The study being done now is focused on developing a model that can help researchers, community planners, and others identify not only current issues, but see how they might grow without mitigation in a warming climate using a variety of data.
Over the next 1 or 2 years, we are developing in partnership with SUNY ESF and Davis Tree a much more sophisticated model that really takes into account both those factors, but also things like land cover, solar exposure, wind chill, and other factors that really determine the heat in different communities.
Common types of mitigation include increasing the concentration of urban forests and tree canopies, like what's being done here in Rochester, but also focusing on infrastructure like cooling centers and smart urban and suburban planning.
We hope in a subsequent phase of the project to develop tools that communities can use to look at different project locations, to explore how different solutions have a potential to improve the microclimate, the temperatures in their cities.
Now, it's also really important to remember the impacts of extreme heat aren't limited to just those who are usually labeled as more vulnerable, like the elderly and young children, especially as it becomes more frequent as expected by projections in the Extreme Heat Action Plan. This week alone is an opportune example as we've been running hotter than average. I can tell you, it's definitely taken its toll on me being out and about for sure.